All right, so we've come to a place in Albania called Siricolta, and I'm probably messing that up totally, but what it means is a blue eye. And here's this, up in the mountains, and they got this place called Siricolta, which is the blue eye, and there's this spring that comes up in the middle of the mountains from the rain and the snow melting from the top of the mountains. And yeah, it's flows down into the water catchment, and they got hydro from it, and it's really beautiful and natural. Yeah, so walking around and getting a couple of the pictures and the photos, so very, very nice. Yeah, so now I've got above the actual spring or the blue eye. You see it is rather blue, the water is so clear, as you can see, bubbling up out of the spring, and then flows down the mountain, and off it goes and ends up being hydropower. So tourist spot, hydropower, drinking water, irrigation, sort of all in one. Very cleverly done here in Albania. And this is some of the water coming out of the eye and the river that comes around it, and they join together in this place, and you can see how exceptionally blue the water is and how exceptionally clear it is. Yeah, so the blue eye is exceptionally pretty place up in the mountains. Come to a little restaurant in this tourist area. You obviously make $1 out of it, but it is something impressive to see with this very, very clear mountainous water. Well, we've come to this castle, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, but this is the castle out here in the top of Albania. Yeah, so this is going inside into the castle, and apparently there was a lot of prisoners tortured here, and there's only 7 windows in the castle, so it's very, very dark inside, as you can see, and that's heading outside. Quite big, quite amazing, really. Yeah, it's kind of hard to fathom the scale and the depth of these buildings they made, and all these arches everywhere, and the little cutouts, and where the doors are and the windows are, and how thick the walls are and the floors, and everything's been chiseled by hand, and it's 1500 years old. I imagine these is where people had little stalls or shops or slept in the cutouts. I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff up on the walls that they tell you about some of the history, but 1500 years old in this old castle, pretty amazing. Yeah, so this morning we've come up to Butrint Castle. It's around about 10 miles, 12 miles south of Sarandi, and we come up this river with the tender. You can see down in the distance, just Peachy is all the way down there. And across from just Peachy is island of Corfu of Greece. So we're in this little sort of estuary area. Very pretty. There's a little lake up in the little hills, not quite mountains. And there's an archaeological site a little bit further down. I'll show you the archaeological site shortly, which dates to about 5 centuries before Christ. So we're now in the archaeological dig in Butrint in Albania, and as you can see, they freely let people still walk around in this place. This is the amphitheater, and all this was underground, so they've been excavating this for a good couple of years, because the land around it is actually higher, so it's been filled in over the millennium. And yeah, they're busy finding all these artifacts dating back, and some of the bronze artifacts 1200 years BC in the Bronze Age. So people have been living here, and then the Romans built this in about 400 BC, I believe. Yeah, this is the amphitheater, so very Roman. Quite amazing, really. Yes, now this is from the other side, looking back up. The castle's up over the trees there, but this is the Roman amphitheatre, and this is the back of the stage. Going through this door wall and into the buildings that were here. Quite amazing that we're allowed to walk around in here, and these buildings are hundreds and hundreds of years old, and there's not much protection left for them. Anybody can walk around anywhere, and I know it is a UNESCO site, but I'm quite surprised that it's not protected, or has not been protected much more. It's still very interesting to see. You won't believe how many acres this ancient town has covered as you walk around, and they're still excavating. There's about half of it they haven't excavated and uncovered yet. But what they have is one of these areas here they've uncovered, and they've, you can see parts of the houses where the people used to cook and that sort of thing. And they've uncovered in here, and it's filled in with water over time. And there's actually turtles swimming around in what was someone's front living room or whatever, because I'm sure this is where his front door was. But very interesting. And it sprawls on and goes on and on and on. You can see between where I am now, and you can walk through the trees and whatever, and then there's more buildings through there where those people are. It's massive. Yeah, so I'm coming to what was built at the end of the Roman reign around 6th century AD, because the city had grown so extensively. This became the new gates and the new entrance into the city wall, but also as defensive. You can see how high it is. It's much higher than anything else around here. And this was the new gates to the city, and obviously you can see the fortifications to protect, for the arrows and swordsmen and whatever there were. So this is the newest of the structures in this old archaeological dig here of Butrint. So they lived here for a couple of 100 years until the Romans got here, and then the Romans did what the Romans do, right? Quite amazing.